In this video, we'll go over all of WoW news from the past week and try to compress it into a bite-sized video. The weekly event for this week is Sign of the Emissary, which means 50% more rep with Broken Isles rep, plus 5k order resources for doing 20 world quests. One of the big complaints I heard from people with the new allied races was that a lot of people didn't have the reps exalted yet to unlock them, which was kinda surprising because even if you play casually, you should have had them all exalted a long time ago. Hell, they even added a system to reward you for getting rep past exalted because so many people capped it out so easily. But I guess if you're one of those people who only play at the beginning of expansions or when a new patch drops and then take breaks until the next piece of content comes out, then I guess I can see that. So for those super casual players, or for the ones returning from a break, this is the best week to grind out those reps. Just do all the world quests available for that rep every day, and make sure to send out your missions for the rep tokens, and you should be good. Alliance players are going to have a harder time for the types of players I described before, since you have to quest through all of Argus and start from scratch with the 2 reps you need to unlock your allied races. Luckily, while the rep bonus for this event says it's only for Broken Isle world quests, it also applies to Argus world quests, so you can use it to grind out the 2 Argus factions as well. Also, make sure to grab the 10% extra rep buff from the Darkmoon Faire carousel. As for other weekly news, the world boss in the Broken Isles is the Soul Takers, who dropped the Frost Death Knight hidden artifact appearance, and the PvP brawl for this week is South Shore vs Terran Mill, which is just a huge Zerg fest and a massive brawl and a lot of fun. The holiday Love is in the Air is going on this week. Here are a few things to note about this event. The mount from the holiday boss only drops for characters level 98 and above. With the new changes to Old World scaling, they also changed it so you could queue for holiday bosses at level 15. You just get different rewards at lower levels, and can only get the big stuff, like the super rare mount, at higher levels. This was put into place to not give players with an army of low-level alts an advantage over players who only have, like, 2 max-level characters. Players like me. Did you know you can only have 50 characters on one account at a time? Because I have to delete a new character every time I want to make a new one. I also have multiple max-level toons on different servers. With how cross-faction everything is these days, unless you're mythic raiding or super into playing the auction house, there isn't a big reason to keep all of your toons on one server. So I play in a whole bunch of different ones with my army of low-level alts. But then again, my situation is a little different as well, as I regularly level up new alts to get footage or to start new Iron Man challenges. So normal people never hit that 50 character cap. Anyways, back on topic, you mostly need lovely charms to buy stuff from vendors, and I've heard from another YouTuber called Want to Buy Gold that some of the best ways to farm the charms are to do the Falcosaur world quests, or to farm normal mode Eye of Ajara. Both are densely packed with high level mobs that drop the charms. The Darkmoon Faire is in town this week as well. For those of you who want to farm rep, make sure to take a ride on the carousel for the 10% rep and XP buff. Also, this is one of the few places to catch crows out in the wild for your pet battlers, and all of the mounts and toys you can collect like normal. Hotfixes went out this past week. Some of the highlights being, you should be able to have 16 characters on each realm now. BM Hunters and Fire Mages saw some overall damage buffs, and Affliction Warlocks saw some nerfs to their dots. The secret finding community over the past week found out how to find a new toy called the Doomsayer's Robe. In order to get it, all you have to do is go into your opposite faction's major city and kill an NPC vendor. So Horde players need to sneak into Stormwind, and Alliance needs to sneak into Orgrimmar. I'll put a link to the 2 NPCs in the video description. Now, for a new series that I promised last week, in which I said I'd add either a Warcraft Minifacts Mini, or an add-on spotlight to these videos from now on. I think I've decided to just alternate between the two of them from week to week, but never do both of them at once. So for this week's Warcraft Mini Facts Mini, we've got the story of Ted Nug and Scratch Fever. Constantly patrolling the path from Razor Hill to Orgrimmar is two NPCs by the name Ted Nug and his pet Scratch Fever. Ted Nug is based on the character Ted Nugget from the short story You Awaken in Razor Hill, a story that starts off with Ted Nugget being trapped in the game and unable to actually go to Orgrimmar and being stuck in Razor Hill, with his trusty companion Scratch Fever. The story plays out like a choose-your-own-adventure with comedy very similar to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and is worth the read. In-game, while patrolling the area he first gets stuck in the story, he'll sometimes stop by the harpies on the path and stare at them, and then say, "later," before marching on, which is a reference to the story in which he talks about paying the bare-breasted harpies a visit, and is very interested in them for some reason. I'll put a link to the place to read the story for yourself in the video description if you want to check it out. The smaller YouTuber shoutout for this week will be on Want to Buy Gold, who, like his name suggests, makes videos on how to get gold in WoW. And I'll link his video at the end of this one on the best places to farm lovely charms. Also, just so you guys know, gold selling websites routinely buy dislikes on gold making videos to discredit legit gold making guides and to push their gold selling videos higher in the algorithm. I just mentioned that in case you watch some of his videos and see a higher than normal amount of dislikes to likes ratio. Same thing has happened to the very few gold video guides I've made in the past, and same to some of my YouTuber friends who have done the same. If you make gold making videos and they get popular, you're going to get dislike botted. It's just a thing that happens. And with that, I'll see you all next week.